Deadpool 2, bro. How you feel about that?
I'm excited. How can you not be excited? It's gonna be awesome.
Speaking of being awesome, let's just jump right into this thing. So I was looking online yesterday. There's a lot of early reviews for this thing. So let me just read to you some of these early reviews. Some at somebody, I can't pronounce it. It says Deadpool 2 took my expectations, blew them up, and regenerated as a top-tier superhero movie loaded with filthy laughs, an unstoppable force of a team, and more heart than it probably should have. Positive reviews so far. Let's keep on going here. Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Anto Volk says, this is a good movie. Actually, kind of loved it. Maybe even more than number 1. Goes balls out and actually works. Anyway, why were we all freaking out / concerned about this? This one is straight to the point. King Patel says, Deadpool 2 fucking rocks. He then follows it up with a more detailed report. There are some really big surprises and cameos, some of which I was definitely not expecting. Funnier and way more brutal than the first, and with almost the same amount of heart. Basically, an X-Men movie on cocaine. Man.
I'm in.
I'm in right there.
Exactly.
But this is the one that stands out to me the most. This one right here. Nigel MFs says, Deadpool 2 is no doubt the most violent major release since Kill Bill Volume 1. Awesome. Now, when you think about Kill Bill Volume 1, it reminds me a lot of Dead Alive. Do you ever see that movie by Peter Jackson? How everything was just so over the top, but it was done on purpose. The same thing with Kill Bill. So I'm interested in seeing how over the top it is with trying to make it look at least somewhat realistic for a superhero movie. Deadpool, also from Canada. Do you see that new marketing campaign they have with them? They did the I Love Canada thing with the moose. The latest one with David Beckham.
I saw it last night. I thought it was pretty funny.
The funniest part though is he's watching that part in the movie, and then when Deadpool finally shows up.
Oh, right.
And he's like, so what are you apologizing for again? Oh, from the line in the movie. Nah, I don't really remember it. Totally trolling him.
That's a cute commercial.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute. Ryan Reynolds, stop with the cuteness.
In preparation of doing the show today, I did watch Deadpool earlier today for the 5 billion. I don't know how many times I've seen Deadpool, but I have seen it more than a normal person should, I think.
I fell asleep watching it last night on TV.
Oh, did you really? So
I had to turn it off. I was like, I'm done.
So what we know about Deadpool 2 so far, it takes place a few years after the first events of Deadpool. It's going to focus more on the Deadpool Cable Domino relationship and, starting the X-Force team off of that. Not, the Disney deal notwithstanding. We'll talk about that later on in the show. Yeah. And also the team forms to save Fire Fists from Cable, presumably for reasons that we do not know. Cable wants Julian Dennison's character, whose name is Russell. He's one of the new characters, one of the many new characters in this film. Just talking about Julian Dennison's character, Fire Fist, the guy has pyrokinesis. Rick, do you know what pyrokinesis is?
Yes, I do know what pyrokinesis is.
All right. So he can...
Do you know what it is?
I do. He can psionically generate and manipulate heat and flame. Gotcha. Ooh, copy and paste. Look at that. Look at those notes. Details, man. Details.
Yes, I can see the copy and paste.
Yeah, right. According to his Marvel Wiki, not Wikipedia, Marvel Wiki, as Marvel Wiki states, the fires he generated often begin as flames emanating from his own body, but he could also start fires remotely or shoot jet flames out from one area to another.
Cool.
That's pretty dope. I'm not going to lie to you. That. We have seen in some of the trailers Julian Dennison's powers, what he can do. Obviously, when Deadpool shows up in that makeshift X-Men uniform,
he sounds. He sounds a lot like
Pyro.
Yeah, Pyro, the guy hanging out with Iceman.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the same type of stuff.
Yeah. The funny thing is the storybook, one of the storylines that Cable was involved in was going back in time to save a baby that was supposed to be the mutant messiah and protect this baby, raise it as his own or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe they're throwing us a curveball. Maybe they think that he's trying to kill this kid, but when in fact he's trying to save this kid, protect him. Yeah. And that's where their lines are crossed. So who knows where this movie's going to go? But Cable, again, being another new character here. Are you excited to see Josh Brolin in another superhero franchise this close to Infinity War?
Of course, I love him. I love Josh Brolin. I love all his movies. So
yeah. Have you seen Sicario?
I have not. I kind of want to.
It's a really good movie.
I want to check it out. I'm going to make an effort, put it on my list of things I want to do. See Sicario.
Sicario. I was also told that I need to see this movie called The Lobster. Have you heard of this movie?
The Lobster?
Yes. I'll talk to you about it after the show. But Cable, played by Josh Brolin, very convoluted and complex backstory. If you want to know more about Cable, I was going to try and explain it to you, but I swear to you, my brain will melt if I try. My brother has seen this happen. What I want you to do is go to, after you're done watching this video, go to the YouTubes, type in "Who is Cable?" ? Enter. The first 3 answers you guys get, watch those. They can explain it better in 5 minutes than I can in 15. So suffice to say, he's a time traveler, he's a telepath, and he's afflicted with the techno-organic virus. Now I say techno-organic virus, Rick, and you say...
Matthew, what's a techno-organic virus?
Hey, I'm glad you asked. So when Cable was born in the comics, he was born to Scott Summers, who is Cyclops, and a clone of Jean Grey named Madeline Pryor. He's born, Apocalypse shows up and infects this baby with a techno-organic virus, which is a virus that turns living tissue into parasitic cybernetic tissue. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Right. I mean... Now, grand scheme of things, in a comic book, that makes perfect sense.
Exactly. Now, I mentioned that he's a telepath. He uses most of his telepathic powers to keep that virus at bay. So I think that is going to be a reason why he won't have the telepathic abilities in the movie. Some other new characters that are coming in. Shatterstar, one of my favorites that was in the X-Force franchise, played by Louis Tan. You may remember him as the drunk master from the first season of Iron Fist. He was in there for a hot minute. Did you watch Iron Fist?
No, I didn't. I just heard bad things, and it just looked stupid anyways. And then I saw him in the Defenders, and I wasn't impressed with his character, so I built his hair. All
right. I watched the series twice. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it. Second time I saw it, it was much more enjoyable. Give it a go, and if that go doesn't get you going, give it another go to get that going, if you know what I mean.
It's a lot of goes to get going.
Exactly. So anyway, Shatterstar, suffice to say, he's got all he's got the mutant combo that everybody has, endurance, strength, durability, healing factors or whatnot. He's actually from another dimension in the comic books, so I don't know how they're going to tackle that one in this. Shatterstar can regenerate body tissue just like Deadpool can, and he can heal himself. However, it takes a longer period of time for him to do that.
I thought I read someplace that, his bones are hollow or something.
The reason that is because of where he was born, created, generated in the other dimension of the Mojoverse. But yes, his bones are hollow, making him a lot lighter than he looks.
Did you just say Mojoverse?
Yes. I'm not joking with you, dude. This not only is Deadpool 2 going to entertain you and make you laugh, but it's also going to give you a lot of homework assignments that you're going to have to go. I mean, Avengers, the first one, only gave you one. Thanos at the end.
Right.
This one's going to give you a whole bunch of them.
I think if anyone has been listening to us for any amount of time, that you're going to come to quickly realize that I am not a comic book guy. Like, I like comic book movies, but I didn't read comic books.
Yes.
I'm more of a sci-fi guy, so trying to learn what I can. I take in what I can.
Well, hey, Rick, we all have our expertise. You have the sci-fi and fantasy aspect. I got the comics covered. We're good, bro. We're weekly on this thing, man. Come on. Moving on over to Domino here. Zazie Beetz. She's lucky.
I got to tell you, just from the little clips I've seen so far, like on TV or when they do interviews and stuff, she looks like she's going to be a great character. I really think I'm really looking forward to her.
I got to say, I was disappointed when I heard that she was cast as Domino. But, I kind of took the wait and see approach with it. And so far, everything that I've seen with her in it, I've enjoyed. So I'm glad I'm glad I'm eating crow on it. But with her...
First of all, wait a minute.
Seriously?
The Lobster...
Yeah, dude.
In a dystopian society, single people must find a mate within 45 days or be transformed into an animal of their choice.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Dude, just go on to Hulu and watch the trailer. It's so deadpan and sardonic that you can't help but just go, I need to see this movie. Like it sounds like the dumbest premise in the world, but this guy at work who's going to be on the podcast reviewing Deadpool 2 with us is like he's hell bent for leather on saying that it's one of the greatest movies he's ever seen.
Oh, really?
And I trust his opinion, so I'm going to go out and check it out. But I'll give you the full rundown of it. Maybe I'll do a separate video of the Lobster with him.
The Lobster.
So the other new characters besides Domino and Cable and Fire Fists, and I like the fact that in the trailers they called out the fact that Fire Fist is an absolutely horrible name. I don't think that is actually going to be in the film, or that line is taken out of context somewhere. But maybe it's not. So who knows? So the other characters that are kind of rounding out X-Force are Bill Skarsgård, the unknown Skarsgård, again popping up. He's playing Zeitgeist, which is just some dude that can spew acidic vomit out of his mouth. So
sounds boring.
I'm assuming they brought that character in for the comedic value of his powers. There's a character named Bedlam, who is being played by Terry Crews, who's your basic strong man. He's got a really convoluted story in the comic books, too. If you want to look that up, he gets his powers through a Delphi box from the mutants on Genosha. Genosha is a whole thing unto itself. So if you want to look that up, you can. And then there's Peter, who's played by Rob Delaney. I have not seen anything that Rob Delaney has done. Have you?
I don't even know who the hell this guy is.
So I looked him up.
I know is that he's got type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Exactly. And I love the introduction that they pulled with him on the first trailer, where he's interviewing all the members of X-Force, and he comes in and he just says, "What special power do you have?" I don't. I just saw the ad.
Yeah.
But you're in.
You're in.
It
looks great.
You know, I hope that there's a part of me that hopes that he has like some lurking mutant ability that no one knows about that's just going to manifest itself in like the third act or something like that. Another part of me just wants like a normal dude on the team that, you know, gets into these extraordinary situations and gets out of them in, you know, extraordinary ways just for being, you know, a regular dude. So I'm curious to see as to where they go with that particular character. Where would you like to see Peter go in this film?
I just want to see Peter in the film. I don't really, I don't want to see him die, but I can see him dying completely. You know, so who cares? I mean, I just think it's hilarious. They bring in some guy who's got no superpower, and he's like, "Yeah, you're in."
Yeah, right. You know, and that's the other thing is that, you know, when you're introducing new characters like this, I mean, obviously you got the returning characters all coming back. You've got Negasonic, you got Colossus, Dopinder, Vanessa, Weasel, Blind Al. You know, the basic crew that you had for the first film. They're adding another one who's, I believe, called Surge. The other X-Men or X-Woman, I should say, that's hanging out with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Surge, according to Wikipedia, is a fictional character, a mutant in the Marvel Universe, one of the student bodies in Xavier Institute, and a member of the former New Mutant Squad. She maintains her powers post-M-Day and was leader of the new X-Men. Ooh, wow. Interesting. Let's see your powers and abilities. Surge absorbs energy at all times from the static in the air, electronic appliances, outlets, that sort of thing. She can't control the absorption and thus must wear specially designed gauntlets at all times to regulate it. It sounds a lot like Quake from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She can discharge the energy through powerful lightning blasts or channel it into bursts of superhuman speed. Oh, that would be an interesting power to use. Could come in handy. But getting to my point here, they're introducing these new characters such as Surge, Cable, Fire Fists, and the rest of the members of X-Force. I feel that they're kind of there just to be disposable. Kind of like how the Black Order was in Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, they were kind of boring.
Yeah.
I agree. Which there's like, you know, their background fodder. They're like, you know, the Star Trek guys that wear the red shirts.
Exactly. But the one person that I think is going to be kind of exempt from this is Shatterstar and maybe even Peter. Just because Shatterstar is such a big part of the X-Force comics that I don't think you would be able to do an X-Force team without Shatterstar. So my hope is that at least he sticks around for the eventual X-Force movie.
I mean, I think it'd be cool to see Peter with some kind of power. I mean, who knows what it could be, but I just find it really cool. He's just some normal dude he's just trying to fight bad guys or whatever.
His name is Peter in the movie, and it's Peter W. So a lot of comic book purists believe that he's a character named Pete Wisdom. So Peter Wisdom in the comics has what is described on Marvel Wiki as hot knives. Pete can also absorb eminent heat and solar radiation and release the absorbed energy from his fingertips as a semi-solid energy projection known as hot knives. So maybe
that sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, even the power that he has in the comics sounds ridiculous. So whether it be a guy that's just some normal dude on the street fighting with Deadpool sounds ridiculous enough, but then when you add, he has psionic knives that come out of his fingertips, like a mutant Freddy Krueger.
Funny as hell.
Oh man, I could totally see them making a reference to being a mutated Freddy Krueger at one point in time, with Deadpool actually being looking like Freddy. Oh my gosh, that's a perfect setup. That's totally what's gonna happen.
You think so?
I'm 7% sure.
I'm a good solid 6.7%. That could happen.
And I was the other movie that I was trying to watch today.
What's that?
Was John Wick 2. Did you see the first John Wick?
Did I see the second one though? Trying to think now. I don't think I did. I saw the first one and I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Yes, I did. And the funny thing was, it was another movie that one of my friends told me that I should go see, and I was just kind of like, all right, yeah, I'll go see it. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves. I mean, the guy's got the emotional range of a wet shoe, but
he likes kung fu.
Yeah. Whoa. So I was kind of hesitant to go see it just because it was just like, let's put another shoot 'em up movie. And but then I was told the premise of the movie, and the premise was so ridiculously stupid.
What is it?
So it's a revenge movie. Well, John Wick. If you've never seen John Wick before, spoiler alert. It is a revenge movie, but he's getting revenge for the fact that someone broke into his house on the day of his wife's funeral, broke into his house, stole his car, and killed his dog.
Oh, that was the premise of the first one.
Yeah, so that was the premise of the first one. The second one is so in the first movie, they reference the fact that he is John Wick is the boogeyman, and the reason he has that nickname is because he did this one impossible task where he killed a bunch of people with a pencil. Anyway, the antagonist for the second film is the guy that helped him with that impossible task, and so he's asking him for his help. He says no. He blows up his house, and the hilarity ensues.
The hilarity of a shoot 'em up, kill 'em movie.
And you might be wondering to yourself, why are we talking about John Wick so much? Well, I'll tell you why we're talking about John Wick so much is because the director of John Wick, David Leitch, was brought in on Deadpool, kicking out the director that directed the first film, Tim Miller, who was a huge part of bringing Deadpool to the screen. But he had
some creative differences, right?
Yeah. One of the big things that I read about was the fact that Tim Miller wanted to cast Kyle Chandler as Cable.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds just wasn't having any of that. And the second thing is that Tim Miller wanted to, it was a sequel. He wanted to drive up the stakes, and he wanted to up the budget and make it a more, I don't want to say a polished superhero movie, but a bigger superhero movie, And Ryan Reynolds and co were basically saying, no, we don't. That's not who Deadpool is. Deadpool needs to stay grounded. It needs to stay practical. Don't rely a lot on special effects, and that's why they brought in the guy that did John Wick. And if you've seen John Wick, you know why they chose that director for the second Deadpool franchise instead of Tim Miller.
Some of those fight scenes in John Wick, I mean, they're just phenomenal. Like that one in the
The club?
The spa.
Yeah, well, yeah, the spa,
the club and the spa.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just awesome.
You know, in the thing that I like about it is that, you know, coming from a guy that went to school for film, there's not a lot of edits in those scenes. A lot of one-shot takes for a long period of time. If you want to see the best, if you want to see some quality filmmaking, go to your local Google and type in "Children of Men" one shot. And there is about a 10-minute sequence in the movie Children of Men towards the end of the film where it's a 10-minute scene, but it is all one take. It's all one shot.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is really sweet. And so when you notice those kind of things, you have a certain expectation as to how the film is going to look tonally.
Right.
And I think
I think it's the same thing happened with Tarantino in Kill Bill 1, right? Like the whole scene in the dance club at the end with Oren Ishii. You know, I think there's like a 10-minute scene in that, and that's Tarantino's thing. I think he's always got extended cut or extended scenes where it's one shot.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing with in Pulp Fiction between Travolta and Samuel Jackson at the beginning of the film. You know, that's a long shot, one continuous shot. Them talking in the hallway when they're early to go kill those guys.
Yeah.
That's a whole one shot. And you see stuff like that, it's really hard to pull off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it's a sign to me of a good filmmaker when you see that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean yeah, precisely. When a director can handle his crew and handle the actors and has trust in the actors to be able to do that kind of thing, that is one thing that really sets good filmmakers apart from great filmmakers, as far as I'm concerned. The other thing that people are really, really excited about for Deadpool, not only for the fact that he's sarcastic, he's homicidal, he's he makes fun of pop culture. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the pop culture references, but I'm also looking forward to what and who Deadpool is going to make fun of. Most notably, the fact that Josh Brolin is Thanos and he is Cable. So we've already seen the promotional material that he mentions, pump the hate brakes, Thanos. So I'm wondering how many Marvel quips Deadpool is going to put into this film, especially with the Disney-Fox merger happening.
What do you think about the Secret Wars coming in for AV4?
I think there is a strong possibility that it could happen.
Yeah.
But without the Fox characters, I don't know how it would work. I mean, obviously they could make it work, but so many of the Fox characters are intertwined in that storyline, especially Wolverine and Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That I honestly don't think that you'd be able to pull off a Secret Wars without those characters.
Well, I'd like they had something set up, beforehand.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I want to see them try, but I think it would be very difficult for them to do. That being said, with the Disney merger happening, I think that the jokes that they have in this film about not doing a Deadpool 3, I think that that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I don't think that there is going to be a Deadpool 3. I do think that they're going to continue with these X-Force films, and I think that those will essentially be
Deadpool sequels. 3, 4, 5, 10.
And I think personally, it would be in Disney's best interest to create a studio within Disney to handle all of the R-rated properties that Fox has that will be absorbed by the MCU. They could do the same thing with Venom.
Sure. Yeah.
So Venom's rated R, isn't it?
Is there a rating out yet? I haven't seen one.
I don't know, to be honest. I was thinking that they were going for an R rating, but maybe they're not. Who knows? Venom is definitely a character that you can pull off an R rating.
Sure, Matt. Venom?
Yes, Venom's definitely a character you can pull off an R rating.
Probably.
What do you guys think? What do you think is going to be happening in Deadpool 2? You guys excited about it? Who do you think is going to be showing up? What do you think is going to be happening? Let us know in the comments below. You can also reach out to us on the Twitters at The Weekly Bros, but you can also email us, realweeklybros@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can follow the brand on Twitter as well at miscellaneous, MISC, 2_ debris. You can also follow my brother from our only mother, RD, on Twitter at Rockin' the D. And coming soon for your viewing pleasure, miscellaneousdebris.net. It's going to be your one-stop shop for all your access for everything that we do here at the channel, and also for all the podcasts and all of your listening glory. So once again,
very, very excited to hear that too, by the way.
Thank you for downloading the show. Thank you for checking us out. We really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about it. If you have any suggestions for further shows, leave us a comment below. I'm Matthew from Miscellaneous Debris. RD.
Thanks, bro.
Keep on living that dream. We'll see you soon.